Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. Yay! You just don't know how hard this was. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done to reach 1,000 subscribers, and we really appreciate each of you who helped make the impossible possible for us. Thank you.
Thank you guys for subscribing my husband's YouTube. Bye.
Thank you so very much for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. It seemed like an impossible mountain to climb, honestly, because I've been working on it for like 2.5 years and I only had 450 subscribers. So to get to 1,000 subscribers just seemed like scaling K2. See, to get any monetary kickback from YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of people watching your stuff. Of the two, people say getting 4,000 hours of people watching your stuff is by far the hardest. I was blessed with a hit music video, Running on Love, and a hit show, my Bigfoot show. And so I actually got a lot of people watching my things. And I thought, how in the world am I going to get 550 more subscribers when 2.5 years worth of work has yielded 450 subscribers? So I thought, what am I going to do? And I thought, I know, I'm a pretty good sign maker. I'll make myself a little sign to help me keep focused on my goal. Now in the sign, you can see that November 17th, I had 450 subscribers, and I made this little thermometer so that people would see and maybe help me. And then it just kept going up. November 24th, we were at 520. December 9th, we were at almost 700. The hardest point in this journey was we had really been working hard to get subscribers. And then we came back from hiking through the Grand Canyon, and my subscriber count, which had been up to 738, was back down at 621. And we thought, what happened? And there's no help line or anything with YouTube. You just gotta kind of wing it and wait for them to reply. So I couldn't really find out what happened, but somehow or another, about 125 of my subscribers that we'd worked our tail off for 3 weeks to get were deleted. And it was a real depressing, difficult phase. I just felt like, this ain't worth it. Maybe I'll just give up. But eventually I got refocused and kept going. And so we had to regain that whole ground, which took a couple of weeks, and then push forward. So it was quite a deal. But I really appreciate you standing with me. January 1st, I'd hoped to have the 1,000 by January 1st, but at least we had the 880. And then bingo, we got the rest. So we're so excited and elated. And let me tell you the best and the worst things that I did to get subscribers. Now, the worst thing that I probably did is I figured, well, you know, those homeless people, they just hold out their sign and people give them spare change and a couple bucks. I'll go and I'll hold out my sign and see if anybody will give me a sub at an intersection that's about 10 miles away from where my son played football. Now, there's nothing that horrifies a kid more than their dad or their mother doing zany stuff. Because, you know, I come from a long line of parents that embarrass their kids. My father created a dance hall, and it became very popular, and he had bands, and just about the whole high school was coming to his dance hall. Now, my sister Bonnie was a very popular blonde cheerleader, and all of her friends came to the dance hall, and my dad had this thing with putting on Indian costumes and dancing. So right in front of the whole high school at his dance hall, Dad puts on this Indian costume, and he goes, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. And he dances in front of the whole high school and gives his little spiel. And my sister Bonnie was just so horrified. And when she went to class on Monday morning, Mr. Follett, the teacher, when he was calling out attendance, he called Minnehaha. So anyway, I kind of pulled a similar stunt in 10 miles away from where Abe played football. I got out there with my sign, and I'm walking back and forth with my sign, trying to get people to subscribe. And actually 2 or 3 people did subscribe, and others wanted to give me money, but I said, no, I'm just out here really trying to get us subscribed. And all of a sudden, a young man pulls up in a nice little pickup and said, "Hey, where'd you get that beanie? That looks like one that my friend sells, Abe Willows, on his site, Willow's World." And I said, "Whatever you do, don't tell Abe that you saw me out here." And I kind of put down my sign and I ran off. And Abe had his friend call me. "I saw this guy with your beanie on," and he ran away when I asked him who he was. So I got an earful from Abe about my antics of trying to get subscribes by holding out a sign. By the way though, if you want some super cool shirts or great beanies, hit my son Abe's site up. I put it here at the bottom. And you can order some super cool stuff on that Willow's World site of his. But then I thought, well, what strengths do I actually have that I could possibly use to get subscribers? And I thought, well, I'm a good musician. You know, I've got 3 CDs out, some popular music videos. I'll go play down at the local park. And that was working out great. People in the town have always been friendly to me as a musician. One guy said, "Whoa, you sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan, man, I'm gonna give you a subscribe." And I'd get 10 or 15 subscribes, it seems like, every time I went out and played for an hour or two. So I was playing a full set in the park several times a week on certain weeks. A lot of people subscribe there from Austin, and I really want to thank you. And then I thought, what else can I do? I thought, man, I always loved football. I loved football since I was a little kid. I was a fan of the Washington Redskins because I thought they were the closest team to Montana. I entered something called Punt, Pass, and Kick when I was only 9, and I won first place, even though I didn't have tennis shoes on. I had these old working boots on. I didn't even think I could get in the competition, but I got in and I won first place. I was a fast kid. I always won like 6 ribbons at the track meet. And so I liked playing football, and I was the quarterback for our 6th grade team. But then when it became full-on tackle, my dad was concerned I'd get hurt, and he strongly recommended I don't do it. So I followed his advice and didn't get to play much myself, but I had this son who was even faster than I was and ended up being one of the top running backs in the nation. So I watched him for 17 seasons and got to know the game well. So I thought, man, I love Texas high school playoff football. So I will go film the Texas high school playoffs. And I filmed a game and it was popular. It got like 800 views. And I know a lot of you football fans helped me out, so thank you very much. And I've also been doing ministry in the Philippines for about 20 years. And my friend, Pastor Lloyd Labuse, he got a lot of his friends to watch this Running on Love video, and they subscribed, and that helped me a bunch too. So thank you, Pastor Lloyd Labuse and the Philippine brethren. I'm really hoping you continue to enjoy the videos. I'm planning to do more football games at the state finals this next weekend. I continue to do music, and I know a lot of people say you gotta find your niche and just narrow down and focus on that, but I can't seem to do it. I have a wide world of interest, including hiking, mountaineering, Texas high school football, making music, and expressing my love to Christ. You know, I was raised in a home that believed in nothing but evolution, and I was really lost by the time I was 14 or 15. My evolution mindset had led me to a philosophy that if it feels good, do it. And yet that whole philosophy was kind of killing me with drug and alcoholism and womanizing and different things that were just maybe not the best for my health. And I was kind of a fighter too, and I ended up in a gang fight. There was 4 guys that were picking a fight on us because I was involved in drug sales, and 6 of us, so we did some gang style fighting. So I got squared up to fight and everything, and yet when their leader came out to meet me and we were ready to get it on, I looked around and all my gang had left, and I was there all by myself, and I got beat up badly. And that night, one of their gang had a gun pointed right at my head. And I thought, man, I'm a cocky, proud, feisty guy, but what if that guy would have pulled the trigger? And God orchestrated Christians to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with me. And so he set me completely free of a terrible drug and alcohol habit. And I haven't done drugs or been drunk for like 38 years. And so I try to share that in a tasteful way in some of my videos. I was never a guy before I was a Christian that liked somebody to cram it down my throat. So my philosophy is to kind of shine the light more like a sprinkler than a fire hose. And so I'm hoping you're enjoying that. And for those of you who it's not your cup of tea, I don't think I'm doing it so much that you're going to hate the channel. So anyway, thanks again from the bottom of my heart for helping me, everybody. And I'll do my best to bring you interesting and enjoyable content. Thank you. P.S. If anybody wonders how much I'm going to make from YouTube, well, if things go well, you make about 1/3 of a penny per view. So this last 30 days, I've had like 7,200 views. So I could get a check of $35. Woo!